Good luck, Charles. Thank you.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charles Wong, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of Prive Holdings. And today, I'd like to introduce to you our signature product, wealth management product called Privé Managers. But before I begin, I would just like to address the financial audience in the room today. Can I ask you, in your firm, do you actually cater to address everyone's financial goals? Does your firm actually distinguish between what loss aversion is versus risk tolerance? Does your firm actually track user behavior to understand how your firm is being viewed by the markets? If the answer to all these three questions are not all yeses, then maybe we can be of help to you. Because you see, wealth is not about selling products. Wealth is about understanding your client's risks, your client's behavior, and your client's motivations. Because every person's journey is very personal. And if you can do that, your firm is going to increase the bottom line. Now, wealth is personal. And this is a picture of my co-founder's daughter. And to her, wealth is about those three little rabbits. So why GCC? It's actually very simple. Because like the rest of the world, every person has what we call intrinsic motivation, user behavior, as well as risk attitudes. While GCC's client requirements may be different, they can use Privé Managers system to actually track that. And one of the reasons why I'm interested to come to the GCC is because one of our biggest clients, Citibank, has told us that they want to bring our wealth management solution to the GCC in 2018. So what is it that we have? Before I even begin, you're probably wondering, how do we build a wealth management ecosystem that can address two things? How can it be adopted by the IT departments of these institutions, as well as to be adapting to the jurisdictional requirements in each region? Well, that's quite simple. What we did was we created a universe of wealth management solutions in a very modular form, not bundled like your traditional wealth management tools. It's actually quite simple. Let me explain. You can take one module today to address certain parts of the wealth management process today that is not working. And maybe 6 months later, you think that these modules could actually be more helpful for you as well. You can take the second module. But when you adopt the second module, you do not need any IT integration within your institution. And that's the beauty of our solution. We build our client trust module by module, API by API. And lastly, how do you address all the jurisdictional issues that arises and all the regulatory issues that arises in the world? And that's when we use our workflow and processes module to help our clients address these problems. So let's take a look at how our solution is in action. Some of these modules include the digital onboarding. We onboard client ID, we onboard then their risk questionnaire, and then we do a video authentication via the advisor or via screen matching. The next solution is the goal-based wealth planning. This is a module which is very popular with our clients because it, again, personalizes the client goals, and we encapsulate their financial portfolios into these goals. And we have a patented technology called the virtual fund, which we're using to do this today. And the client links it to a model portfolio, and this is tracked in the system. Going forward, I'm showing you different things such as the Fund Explorer with respect to Citibank. You can then, from the Fund Explorer, pull up a fund fact sheet. From the fund fact sheet, create a portfolio to get your Portfolio 360 investment proposal. This is the award-winning product in the market today. And lastly, we give the fractional shares technology to a robo-advisor. So, where are we going today? Because we think digital integration is not the end game here. Why? Because digital integration can only take you so far. What's the problem of your institution if you can't generate client revenues? So one of the things that we're doing today is we're rolling out an additional service called the Client Acquisition Service to all our institutional clients. Since launch last year, we have 40 institutions onboarded onto this platform. And by next year, Q1, we'll have 100 institutions. To date, we have generated $1.5 billion of client referrals to these institutions. So, what is it all for, guys? Why am I doing this? This is really the same reason why you guys are providing wealth management tools to the market. because you're there to satisfy clients. I'm here to satisfy our clients because I want to help them to reach their goal of building a digital wealth management platform to help them also to reach their goals. Because after all, wealth is personal for all of us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, judges, over to you. Any questions that we have? Please, immediately.
What do you foresee one of the challenges in implementing your solution in the MESA region? You mentioned in the start of the presentation the GCC specifically, but if you slightly wider context.
Sure. That's a very good question. I think with respect to all the regional implementations that we've done before, I think a lot of that comes in a partnership with the banks that are working with us, helping us to understand some of the regulatory requirements. But in terms of the actual implementation itself, we also have a lot of these modules that can cater to a variety of different sort of use cases. So for example, with respect to Citibank, they had a different model portfolio regime that they were employing in the UK versus the one they were doing in Singapore. But hence, they were using the same system to serve that within two different regions. Thank you.
Mohatni.
Sorry, I have a question. Banks are horrible in integrating.
Correct.
And in spite of all the global push for connecting to APIs, it is far from reality.
Correct.
You may be lucky to work with Citi on getting the, how long it took to integrate? How much it cost them to do the
Well, it costed them, it cost a lot us as well. So yeah, so I think for Citi's case, I think what we did very smart at the beginning was with a lot of these modules that we have, we have those modules that require zero integration with IT, and those modules that require maybe a little bit of integration, and those modules that require lots of integration. So the perspective that we go to a client is we say, look, within a span of 1 year, we'll give you solutions out very quickly without any integration. So that gives confidence to the front office people that they have a solution to the market. And over time, we build that connectivity in the bank.
I think that's nice, but I think the real challenge comes when you get the full solution to the banks, and banks' ability to connect is horrible. So that's one. Second thing is the challenge of procurement guidelines. Most banks don't have procurement guidelines which supports connecting to small startups. Do you face such problems?
Okay, so what we did very smartly in the beginning was we actually spoke to the front office people, giving them modules which require zero integration.
Okay.
And once they took that on, they can prove to their senior management as well to their IT how easy is it to implement a fintech company like ours. And that's why we've been successful. And I'll just tell you in all honesty, right? We started this in 2011. Until this day, we have never raised one round of funding yet. And we're a profitable company today for the past 2 years.
Okay. Omar.
You described your solution as being powered by artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Can you give a scenario where you're using artificial intelligence?
Very good. So this is one of the things that we're doing for Citibank today. So one of the key things about artificial intelligence is there's two disciplines. A lot of the things that you see is machine learning. The ones that we're doing for Citibank is actually what we call the genetic optimizer. So it's actually a way to construct a portfolio taking into account all the requirements that the client has. So typically you would have an advisor doing that for you. But in order to free up the time of the advisors, we use that genetic optimization, which is almost like the survival of the fittest. So we generate thousands of portfolios, and we generate what we call the fitness function. That can have thousands and thousands of criteria. And so over time, that fitness function becomes better and better. And that's what we're using today with respect to some of the banks that are using our technology.
Okay. Yes, Salim.
Is your technology patented, and if not, what are the barriers of entries for people coming in and competing?
That's a very good question. So when we looked at the kind of the technology that we've built, we did patented two modules. The first module is actually the virtual fund technology. So the virtual fund technology is a container that you can put any asset classes in there, and then you can then track these assets. So you can have two virtual funds tracking the same asset class, but you have to decipher which portion of the asset class belongs to which virtual fund. And the beauty of this is that then we automated the trading and the rebalancing of these virtual funds. And that's the technology that we patented in Hong Kong, which then we've also then got the government grant in Hong Kong to file the patent across the world.
And do you check with the regulators about your algorithm? Do they approve that algorithm? How did you work with the regulators?
Okay, so that's a great question. So a lot of times we put the burden on that with the institution because it is really their their own compliance, their own internal. They have a lot of people internally that have vetted this solution from.
What is your solution? How come they understand better than you?
No, but so I think the key question is who's ultimately responsible.
I understand that,
Right,
but,
yeah.
but for them to explain is suboptimal.
No, correct. I mean, I would love to be invited to meet with the regulator and give them the better understanding. But I guess as long as, let's say, if you're asking me the question is, do I need to get the approval for the regulators? I think, this is where we need to have that discussion. Right.
Okay.
Can I just, one last question?
Very quickly, sir. Yes.
You mentioned about tracking user behavior.
Yes.
How do you do that in this? I mean, none
Sure.
of the applications talk about.
So in the system, let's just take, for example, simply, just take the Fund Explorer, okay? So that Fund Explorer is deployed within Citi, pre-login, post-login. We also then have what is called the proposal generation, where I can see all the different asset classes. I can track what the clients are seeing, what they're clicking on, what they're trying to look at, what information are they trying to get from the system. And we actually give that report to our financial institutions on a monthly basis, and we show them exactly how they should be using this data to do better business.
Okay. Judges, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Privé Managers.
Thank you.
Charles.